Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to White Gaming. How is everybody doing? So we are back again today with some more Generation Zero. And I've got a spicy one for you today. We are going to be going over what we could potentially be seeing for Generation Zero's new Horde/Wave defense mode. Now, we found out a little bit so far from the trailer and a little bit from the letter from the devs yesterday. Now, oh man, it is looking pretty damn sweet. Now, what we know so far is we're going to be building our own little base, which we're going to have to protect. So it's not going to be, from what I've understood so far, it's not going to be sort of a base that we will use to live in and store items. It's going to be purely for protection and defensive/offensive purposes. Now, there are a few little bits. I've noticed sort of like 4, maybe 5 items that we'll be crafting so far. We're going to go into that a little bit later on. But first things first, you might be wondering why we're in FOA 2. And that is because ever since this has been placed here, this wasn't in the original game. This did not launch back in 2018 or 19, whenever it was. This did not launch back then on the 26th of March. This was actually added in much later on. Now, the reason I think this would have been, ever since I've seen this, I've thought this would be the place where we'd have a Horde mode. It wouldn't be anywhere else other than here, and we'd be triggering waves, and that's what the panels were for. The enemies would pop up. I mean, that's not to say that that's not something that they're planning on doing much later on. It could be something they have already said that upon release on the 27th, there will only be one area that will be able to build and use to fortify. But we could see certain changes to the way the Horde mode is. But my main thinking behind that is this computer here. It looks, and all the boxes, it looks to me like you will collect your resources here, head over to this machine, tap it in, and then this is going to be where the machines come up from. Runners, hunters, yada yada yada. And then from here we will be seeing harvesters, tanks, and potentially even the Reaper. Now, that for me would be fucking amazing. But unfortunately, that is not the case. Like I said, who's not to say that that's not going to be coming in the future? What we have seen so far are a few little snippets of what could be, well, what is going to be the sort of base building / Horde mode element of it. It's going to have difficulties, which is very cool. The higher the difficulty, the better the reward. Whether we're going to have to protect something, I don't know, or whether we're just going to have to survive. I've got a few theories from what we've seen so far, and I'm going to go through little bits and show you some of the images that we've seen, which will help me back up my theories and help me explain it a little bit better. So let's have a look at this first bit. So this first bit here is, as you'll see a little bit later on, you can see this tower up here, up on the side here. Now, this is from the original trailer that dropped, but you can see this tower in the background, and here is what looks to be the sort of build element of it, with whatever that is there. There's that line coming from... Ah! That's a turret. That's an automatic turret. Whether that's... I don't know. That could just be from their software or editing, because this is... I think it's a development build. I don't think this is the full build that they're recording it on. It could potentially just be something that they're... Yeah. But it looks like a hidden sort of turret pillbox type thing, where it's sunk into the ground a little bit. We've got a turret around that front side, and that is obviously where it's aiming. Which does squash my theory that we might be able to get in them and control them ourselves. It could be resistance fighters that are in there controlling them, which would be very, very cool if it is. Now, that's interesting. Very interesting. Now then, we've got a better view from anything that we've seen before. Obviously, we've seen some close-ups. We'll go over those in a second. But this is a much better view of what it is. And obviously, before the letter from the devs came out, we didn't really... There wasn't too much of a knowing of what this was. Now, it looks, as you'll see a little bit later on, that you can see all of these. So this is definitely the same area, 100%. So this is a wave, obviously, attacking. So I'm assuming this is a Reaper. So this has got to be on the hardest difficulty. It's got to be. In my mind, there's no doubt about that. If you've got a Reaper coming to attack you, there could potentially be more than one. The Reaper could lose its sort of factor of being like a hidden machine that comes just with the high region level, and we could see 2 or 3 that show up on one wave, or 1 per wave when it gets to that sort of part. I don't know, but as you can see here, I'll go over it a little bit more detail when we see the photos in a sec, but you can see the walls here. So there's one, by the looks of it, I don't know whether that's the same wall just spun round, this one and this one, but yeah, we've got a bigger wall there which could potentially be a gate, and then obviously the truck in the middle, which is where we're going to be activating these sort of waves / assignments / quests. But it is looking pretty damn spicy so far. I'm liking this. It looks very cool. Obviously, we didn't really know all too much about this image beforehand, but now we've seen a little bit more. You can definitely sort of put the two together and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, we'll move on. I'll show you what was posted in the letter from the devs, and I've got a few little thoughts and theories on that bit too. It's looking pretty damn spicy. I am absolutely buzzing for this horde mode. So here we have a much better in-depth, in detailed look at the whole thing. As you can see at the bottom there, we got that GIF. I can't stop that. It just keeps going through. And then the image at the top here. As I mentioned earlier on, there was snow obviously on the video, on the trailer. But here it looks like it's a bit warmer. There's no snow. And there's the radio tower in the background that I was talking about. And there is the truck. So maybe this guy's aiming at said Reaper that we could see. But once again, it does look like we're going to have a fair few building materials. Building items. So obviously that looks like a gate / enforced wall or something. And then you've got another wall down here. And then there's another one that looks like down that side there. Obviously there, I think that's another one of the turret boxes. Which we could see the line coming from. And there it is. Obviously, whether we can build these towers or whether they're already placed there, I don't know. But it's looking very, very spicy. Now, this bit here is much better. Obviously, we can see a little bit more of the walls. We've got several. I reckon there's at least 4, possibly 5 fortifications that we'll be able to build off the bat. There might be more than that. Obviously, from what we can see, there's just the walls, the gate, the towers, and then whatever these boxes are here. I am 100% certain that they are MG turrets. Like I said, whether it's going to be resistance controlling them, or whether we'll be able to jump in and out of them, or they could even be just fully automatic. We place them, and then they will pick the nearest target. Obviously, the radio here, which is looking very, very cool. There's the 3 speakers, or microphones, sorry, which I'm assuming is going to be our difficulty selection, so easy, medium, and hard. Or it could even be a different way. Obviously, we've seen a Reaper show up, so it could be hardcore and you're gonna die, or something along them lines. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things we don't know yet, but I am so buzzing. A horde defense mode. Now, whether we're defending ourselves or defending this sort of play area, the truck, I don't know. Whether we'll be able to place that, I don't know. We could be placing the truck where we want it in this certain region. Obviously, they've said there's only 1 building part at the moment. There could be more. There really could be. We don't know yet. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to find out more. Hopefully we find out a little bit more on Wednesday's stream, but we shall see. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from me. I've been Wired. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching. Peace.